It's time for Recipe of the Day. Sometimes you just want to cook up some fish in the air fryer. No fuss, no muss, no breading, nothing. And I'm going to tell you how to do that right now, right off the top. If you have fish fillets that are about half an inch thick. Yes, I said fillets. It's a Canadian thing. You can say fillet if you want to. If you have your fish fillets that are about 5 ounces each, half an inch thick, you're going to use about a teaspoon of cooking oil per fillet. Just rub it on there. You could use a cooking spray or mist if you wanted less, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt for each one. And then they are going into the air fryer basket in a single layer, and you're cooking them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. No need to preheat that air fryer. Just get them in there, and it's 7 to 9 minutes without flipping. After 7 minutes, check on them. If they are white and opaque right in the middle cooked through, they're done. If not, don't flip them. Just close it back up and cook it for 2 to 3 more minutes until they are flaky and opaque in the center. So that is all you really need to know, but I'm going to tell you some more stuff if you want to make these extra delicious. So when I'm thinking about doing an air fryer fish without breading, I still want some color and texture on it. And so I'm getting that by using a particular blend of ingredients that brings me that texture and color. So I'm going to tell you about that for sure. I'm also going to tell you about what different kinds of fish you can use and what to do if your fish fillets are larger than 5 ounces. And I'm going to tell you how to cook these in batches, like if you wanted to do 8 fillets, or if your air fryer is really small and you can only fit 2, or if the fillets are really big and you don't want to cut them in half, I'm going to tell you how to cook them in batches as well. So this recipe works great with most kinds of white fish. You can use salmon, but if it has skin on it, I'm going to link to the salmon in the air fryer with crispy skin because that's the best bet. If it doesn't have skin, you're going with the same rule of thumb as I'm going to be talking about for here. If it's a half an inch thick, you're following what I already said, the 7 to 9 minutes at 400. If it is thicker, then you're going to cook it for a little bit longer. Still no flipping though. You're trying to develop color on one side and you're trying to not break the fish up by flipping it over in there. So that's why we don't flip this one. So yeah, tilapia is great. I've tried this with pollock, haddock, and some smaller halibut and cod fillets. Oh, I said fillets there. See, I'm becoming American. I've been here long enough, right? Okay, so the timing I gave you before was for 5-ounce fillets. Now I don't know what to say. What happens if you have larger ones? If they're more like 8 or 9 ounces, each one will feed 2 people. So I cut them in half first. If it's tilapia, you cut it down that like vertical center line. It's almost like a spine, it looks like, running down the fillet. So you just cut through there. You can do the same thing with any other kind of fish. Just cut them in half before you cook them. And then you will be able to fit them better in the basket too. If your air fryer basket is smaller, you can move them around. You can also prop the fish up along the sides of the air fryer. You really don't want them overlapping each other because then they don't cook evenly. So that's your better bet. Prop them up along the sides if you need to. Now, if you don't want to do that, or if that won't work for yours, your air fryer is too small, the fish is too big, you can alternatively cook them in batches. So you would start with half of your fillets, 2 fillets, as instructed before, 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 7 to 9 minutes. Then take those out and cover them with foil and put the others in there and cook them for their 7 to 9 minutes till they're opaque and white in the middle. Then take those out, cover them with foil, put the first 2 back in just for 2 minutes. And at that point, the second batch is covered in foil. It's still warm. Your first batch just got reheated a little bit. They're all ready and you can serve them at the same time. I think that's everything I have to say other than the seasonings that I put on this. Like I said, I really wanted good color and texture from the ingredients that we're putting on this fish to make up for no breading. Super easy to do. So for 4 5-ounce fillets, you're going to get a large bowl and you're putting 4 teaspoons of cooking oil in there. That can be olive oil or whatever you like. And then a teaspoon of salt, 2 cloves of garlic that you've minced up, half a teaspoon of of coarse black pepper. See, we're developing some of that texture, even the look of texture, the taste of texture with the coarse pepper. And then also a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. That's doing that too. That's texture. And the garlic that I mentioned before, instead of doing garlic powder, the minced garlic, it's going to brown just a little bit and give some texture as well. And then there's also 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. You get the smoky flavor, and the paprika kind of stains it a little like reddish yellow color. So even though the air fryer is not cooking these for very long and you can't get a lot of browning on them, the smoked paprika makes it look a little more attractive, like they've darkened in color a little bit, right? Then also a 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme leaves. I like the dried thyme leaves instead of the powder for that texture as well, the look and the feel of the texture, okay? So you mix all that together in a big bowl, and then you add your tilapia fillets or whatever kind of fish you're using into there. Really kind of like swirl them around to coat them on all sides, and then put them in your air fryer basket arranged like I was talking about before. If any of the garlic and seasonings is still in the bowl, just kind of use your fingers to scoop it up and then dot it onto the fish fillets. And then, like I said, into the 400°F air fryer, no preheating necessary, for 7 minutes. Check at that point. If it's opaque and flaky and white in the middle, it's done. If not, 2 to 3 more minutes, no flipping, and then double check that they're done, and then you can dig in. Okay, I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is July 21st of 2025. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.